uma escolha para o Mundial.
Dominic Solanke, que no Tottenham, nos Spurs, leva 6 gols esta temporada na Premier League. Bola batida para intermédio de James Garner, ali o cabeceamento a surgir ao segundo poste. E a defesa chegou a acabar por aliviar o atraso de Spence. E dá para James Trafford. A Inglaterra tentar sair novamente para construir. Tomori, Jordan Anderson. Tomori. Quase 9 minutos em Inglaterra, em Londres, no Wembley, 0-0. Entre Inglaterra e Uruguai, jogo particular. Já vamos poder olhar até para o histórico de confrontos entre estas duas seleções. E olha que o Uruguai até leva vantagem. Vem a bola para Marcus Rashford. Vai virando, Madueke. Tino livramento, já vai acompanhando o lateral direito da seleção inglesa. Madueke procurava a linha de passe para Phil Foden. Sai o corte, recupera Tomori. Inglaterra instalada no meio campo da seleção do Uruguai.
Sim, aqui em Inglaterra eu tinha dito inicialmente que o Uruguai estaria com um pivô só, que era o Ugarte, e depois com 2 médios interiores, mas não. São 2 duplos pivôs, Valverde e Ugarte. Arrascaeta posiciona-se à frente deles, e portanto é num 2-1 em vez de ser num 1-2 no meio campo. Mas o Uruguai completamente com referências na marcação. Vimos há pouco Rashford a vir nas zonas interiores e Guilherme Varela a acompanhar sempre. Portanto, o Uruguai a optar muito por aquilo que são as referências na marcação homem a homem.
Pontapé de canto, mais uma vez, depois de um bom trabalho de Madueke.
E atenção que...
Vamos ver, exatamente. E aqui está ele, muito bem, o camisola 17 da Inglaterra, conseguir
ganhar a linha de fundo.
Exatamente.
Tentar o cruzamento, mas o jogador do Uruguai acabou por ficar ali magoado. Vamos ver se não vai ser preciso.
Quem está caído é precisamente Picarés. Está caído Picarés. Este é o lance em que o lateral esquerdo da seleção uruguaia acaba por se lesionar. Vamos ver se recupera ou não. O jogador que Abel conhece bem.
Fez ali um entorce no pé direito e está a pedir substituição, porque realmente ficou ali com o pé por baixo do Madueke e acabou por fazer uma torção. Sorte, porque não foi mais do que se calhar uma boa torção e tem um entorce e está a pedir substituição, portanto...
Não está bem.
Sim.
E problema para a seleção do Uruguai também, e há pouco falava dele, do Abel Ferreira, que é um jogador muito importante do Palmeiras, não é?
Sim. Dor de cabeça que é para Bielsa agora neste jogo e para Abel Ferreira no futuro.
E eu falo disso, Luís, sabes porquê? Porque está aí à porta a Libertadores. E é um jogador...
Se bem que esta fase da Libertadores,
sim,
claro, os brasileiros normalmente têm com alguma facilidade. Digamos aqui...
São muitos, não é? Fora.
Uma outra equipa à espera para o próximo jogo, a descansar. Bem dito o treinador que tem estas opções e que dá-se ao luxo de poder fazer praticamente 2 equipas.
Sem dúvida nenhuma. Com particular destaque para Harry Kane. Neste dia, há 11 anos, Harry Kane entrou em campo no lugar de Wayne Rooney em Wembley para fazer a sua estreia pela Inglaterra contra a Lituânia. 80 segundos depois já estava a festejar o primeiro golo com a camisola de Inglaterra, e desde então Kane tornou-se o maior goleador da história da seleção inglesa, não é? Fantástico, um jogador fantástico.
O desígnio de entrar e fazer logo golos, previa-se que 11 anos depois continuasse a ter estes números que tem, avassaladores. É sem dúvida nenhuma um jogador de top mundial. Agora no Bayern de Munique conseguiu fazer aquilo que até então não tinha conseguido, que era ganhar títulos, que acho que já o merecia, e é sem dúvida nenhuma um jogador poderosíssimo e forte naquilo que é no ataque à baliza. E
hoje a imprensa inglesa, estive a ver um bocadinho a Sky Sports, e lá fazia uma análise relativamente a esta seleção inglesa. Se a Inglaterra quer ser mesmo uma candidata a vencer o campeonato do mundo, não há chance, tem que contar com ele. Tem que contar com ele no ataque.
Sim, isso...
Essa era apenas uma opinião das muitas, não é?
Sim, mas é sem dúvida nenhuma, será ele e mais 10, não tenho dúvidas nenhumas que Harry Kane irá ser ele o escolhido para estar na frente de ataque, e portanto, naturalíssimo essa escolha de tudo para a frente de ataque.
Bem, tu dizias, Luís Filipe, não estava mesmo em condições o Picarês, eu ali aquela torção, e vai entrar o José Maria Jiménez.
Sim, e eu até pensaria que eventualmente podia entrar...
إلى ركلة مرمى.
Madueke. Henderson. Livramento. Ingooi.
Matias Oliveira setting up at left back with Jimenez on the field for the injured Piqueras. And Oliveira's fouled by Madueke. And he seems a bit shaken up. He's holding his shoulder. Part of the Napoli team, it's won 2 of the last 3 Serie A titles. All right, what are you looking for from Uruguay here?
I just think more so the game to get back into a rhythm. It's difficult when you deal with an injury like that, a stoppage in the early parts of the game. That was a long stoppage. We're going to have a lot of added time at the end of this first half. So it's hard to say because the game really came to a complete halt. For Uruguay, they've set up with their intent, which is to be a little bit deeper, but they're turning the ball over often. Good pressure from England again.
Madueke, Solanke got it away, and Fernando Muslera makes the save, his first of the night.
Which, for England, is a good sign, the way they're hunting the ball. Look at the pressure there from Madueke. Instantly, that puts Oliveira in a defensive mindset, coming back away from goal, negative ball, boom, they step in the midfield, win the ball back quickly. And then Solanke hits that with the left foot on the turn.
And again, England right back on the ball in the attacking half. Great spin on the outside, Jet Spence. Varela able to recover. It's slashed off Canobio. It's another England corner. But this has been one-way traffic through, 19 minutes?
Really impressive, though, from England to be able to get past that first bit of pressure, that first tackle, because instantly, in the way that Uruguay are going to try to press you, and this time, Canobio just completely gets done. He knows it. You can see the look on his face. Slippery move there from the Tottenham man, Jet Spence. But that then opens up the field because you create situations where players have to come off their man. Now there's some gaps, opportunities to play one-touch passing. Service from Garner has been good from this side. Let's see if he can put it in a dangerous area again. Always looking for Maguire or Tomori back there.
Into a great spot and just a touch there. Looked like for Maguire, in fact, to help it along. It's going to be out for a corner on the other side.
Yeah, they're loading up in front of Muslera and that trying to hit that in-swinging ball at a height even that he can't come and punch. And there's a lot of bodies in front of him.
Foden now from the other side. You can just see the amount of traffic right around Fernando Muslera. Foden hooks it in deep. Maguire back in front. And Foden was in an offside position when Maguire hit that with his head, and so the threat ends there. And Thomas Tuchel said before the match he picked Phil Foden specifically to start because he said he's a smart, clever player. I picked him because we're playing against a tricky, fluid midfield from Uruguay. Let's see if Uruguay can get even just some attacking possession right now. Not from that. Ugarte was repelled in the middle by Garner. Nobio. Back from Ugarte. Azcayeta, and it's a backtracking Madueke there to knock that away. Pressured off it. Good work by Garner to get rid of it quickly. And now Spence is flying forward. Good solid tackle there to take it right back, though. That was Valverde. What a couple of weeks he's having in particular. First career hat trick against Man City for Real Madrid in the Champions League. Had a goal plus a red card in the Madrid derby last weekend.
I've been really impressed in the early stages of the game with England's intensity, at which everything, the way they move the ball, the way they close down spaces when they look to recover, they're trying to get the first ball as soon as it turns over and then trying to play in quick transitions. But even the recovery runs, Madueke's been back. I think some of that you would expect because these are players that are playing for places on the plane to North America in this summer in the World Cup. So you see just a little bit more of an urgency, intensity, a pressure for some of these players that are really trying to impress. That's evident to me through the early stages of this game.
And that fits what Tuchel talked about, where he said, I want these guys to shine in the concepts that I've given them, in the ideas that I've given them. Make the players around you better. Bring that effort and that intensity. Even as absolutely everyone on the field in one form or another is in a desperate fight for either playing time or just a roster spot for the World Cup. And for some of these players, how much time are they even going to get? Are there halftime subs? How many other guys are going to get opportunities today? You might only have 45 minutes to stake your claim. As Henderson reopens it up. Okay, now setting up on the left, at least for the moment. And all of a sudden, England with nowhere to go. Jordan Henderson will send it long over the top, trying to find Rashford. Varela heads it away. Spence quickly back in for Garner.
Still going to have movement in front of the ball. With you can get the Uruguayan center backs to really step out. Jimenez is actually coming all the way with Solanke into the midfield, but then you need some movement behind him into that space that is created. And I think because of the possession they have, here come Uruguay a little bit pressing now. I think they smell an opportunity in moments, and then now they're going to drop off because England's not testing them in behind. That means they can step a little tighter. That's a better running ball. That's not going to get the foul, no.
Drones from the fans there as Livramento thought he made a clever run. It's behind there, Azcayeta, though.
He just kind of stopped, didn't he? I think he expected he was going to get a foul for a shirt pull, but it was a nice run from Livramento. If he can push up and make some of those runs in behind his midfielder, then he's going to force defenders to have to commit. Look at Jimenez. He's at the halfway line right now. He's following Solanke all the way into the midfield. That's because right now England's not looking to play over the top or in behind. Everything's in front.
To go back to the point, I mean, 2 years ago, 2 summers ago, it was a beautiful example of just different styles of play. You'd watch the Euros in the morning, Copa America at night, play different versions of the same sport. And the first time in 2 years, England are playing South American opposition. That's one of the beauties of the World Cup, and that intercontinental differences in styles and physicality. Arrascaeta lets to go sideways as Aguirre was running forward, and Uruguay will hope to have a little bit of a spell here on the ball. First time Uruguay are playing at the new Wembley. They played at Anfield in 2006. England and Uruguay played at the old Wembley 30 years ago. And it's the first time they've played at all since the 2014 World Cup. Muslera was on the field. Jimenez, who subbed on, was on the field. Jordan Henderson was on the field. As a pair of Luis Suarez goals that day in Brazil knocked England out of the World Cup with a match still to play. Harry Maguire hoping to be back at a World Cup. First call-up in a year and a half. Thomas Tuchel said he simply deserves it for the way he's played at Manchester United, and really the way Michael Carrick has reinvigorated both Maguire and Kobbie Mainoo, who's on the bench, their times at Manchester United. Back into the England team now. That comes backwards there off of Tomori. Canobio options either side, calls his own number, puts it in the stands. First attempt of the night for Uruguay.
Well, England did well getting back defensively, though, but it was a mistake from Tomori trying to jump too far, and just Aguirre backs himself into him over the top, and now they've got 3v2. But Maguire doing a good job cutting the passing lane to Aguirre and almost tempting and daring Canobio to take the shot from there, which, as you can see, was not even close, but a dangerous opportunity, really the most promising opportunity for Uruguay so far in this game, coming off a mistake from Tomori, just misjudging the flight of the ball and that header there, trying to be overly aggressive.
And Foden the speed there. That was knocked down awkwardly, outrunning Jimenez for it. And Aguirre was close to chasing down James Trafford. Aguirre's fascinating. He's 31. It's his 10th ever appearance for Uruguay. He's playing right now at Tigres. He'll be playing against the Seattle Sounders in 10 days in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and he's getting a 7th career start for his country.
Well, it's a different Uruguay than what you've seen in the past. The days of Suarez and Cavani, and now really have yet to find an out-and-out 9. Everybody thought it was Darwin Nunez, but his club situation is a mess. He's not playing consistently, and Bielsa opting to give others opportunity. And not to mention what happened during the Copa America and the suspension that followed for him after the facts. So I think there's still big questions for Marcelo Bielsa up front of who's going to be that starter for them at the World Cup.
Easy to forget that was one of the challenges for Uruguay the second half of World Cup qualifying. They were missing some of their core players for multiple games because of the total madness that ensued, and we witnessed in person in Charlotte at the end of the Copa America semifinal with Colombia. They had to get contributions from a lot of other guys for a spell there to keep things from unraveling. Livramento almost showed too much of it there and able to keep it and recover. And like you said, the way the Uruguayan defenders charge forward and then immediately retreat. That's what Arrascaeta talked about, that Marcelo Bielsa demands high intensity, especially defensively. Jed Spence, wide it comes for Garner. Garner will send the cross in. Muslera stays at home, looping header. Comfortable second save of the game. Muslera there from Solanke.
But this is terrific play from James Garner, the Everton man, on his debut. Look at that run here out wide. That drags Valverde with him, and it opens up the space then for Jed Spence to come inside. Never mind Garner picking that one out on his left foot, comfortable with both right and left. Floats one to the back post that Solanke tries to get enough on with the header to lob Muslera at the back post. But I've been impressed with James Garner so far on his debut for England.
Yeah, Thomas Tuchel full of praise for Garner. Started every game this season for Everton. He's had a fantastic season, Tuchel says, a very underrated player, clean in everything he does. He makes everyone around him better. So even though it's a guy making his debut for England at the age of 25, a player who at his club has really made a strong impression and has every opportunity to play a big role for England this summer.
Absolutely, and in a position though that is stacked from an English perspective. But this is a kid. He's not really a kid now at 25, but on the international scene, yes. In Manchester United's academy, goes to Everton, has been a regular. Right, great move from Rashford.
Rashford on the outside, cutting it back and forth. Two defenders for company, no problem for him. Doesn't come to much in the end, and England will recycle.
Speaking of Manchester United's academy, a couple of them on the field, and Rashford on display there. He's back in the mix. Livermento's going to pick up a foul. But they've been dangerous on every set piece so far, England.
Ugarte just throwing a two-handed shove there at the end. Yeah, Rashford does what all Manchester United players do when they run into trouble. Just go to Barcelona. Revamp your career there. Half an hour played at Wembley, taken quickly by Henderson. Dom Solanke's going to bring it down, and immediately had Ronald Araujo for company, and then commits the foul. Now Araujo's down.
A little bit of a heads-up play here. England trying to take the set piece quickly. Jordan Henderson having a look, and you can see kept onside by Oliveira at the top of the screen. Really heads-up play from Solanke, just always being aware, having a look, makes the eye contact with Henderson, tries to get turned, and then you get great defending from Araujo, who clearly was fouled on the follow-through there. And Muslera taking this free kick, clearly not where that foul happened, and the English fans letting him know.
Muslera, who is starting for Uruguay for the first time since a match against the United States in Kansas City, June of 2022. He was a substitute a few days later against Panama. But it's been the better part of 4 years since he's been called in. Playing at Estudiantes now in Argentina. Just fascinating, a couple of these guys that have come back out of the wilderness into the picture on both sides of the field. A matter of months ahead of the World Cup. Henderson quickly inside from Rashford. Foden now to the far side, Madueke. Livermento outside of him. Madueke wants it himself. It's a big tackle there. That was Aguirre. They call him the Buffalo for a reason. Madueke is down behind the play. Can Uruguay go quick the other way? Oliveira able to keep it with Darasqueta. And now the play might be stopped. And indeed it will be.
Well, Madueke comes inside to take the shot with the left foot. And as you said it, the Buffalo, Aguirre came back there and gave him every little bit on that challenge. That's your center forward, 18 yards from your own goal, coming back, making that tackle, 4 bodies around the ball as Madueke was trying to get the shot off. He had Livermento to his right, making a good overlap. That opened up the space there.
That's a standard tackle in Liga MX. That's
yes,
boilerplate stuff there.
And then these turn into opportunities for Thomas Tuchel to speak to some of his players and use tactics. We referenced this during our game yesterday about the water breaks or hydration breaks you're going to have in the World Cup this coming summer, and how coaches are going to use that effectively as a timeout and a chance to tweak little things in tactics and talk to players. The more this is used and seen, it's not going to go anywhere. You're going to see these genuinely as opportunities and ways in which coaches can have influence on a game that normally they would not have had.
Johnny Madueke remains down and is getting looked at. You mentioned the season he's having at Arsenal. First time on the field for England since September because of some injuries in the fall. And the concern here might be not necessarily the body contact from Aguirre as much as the way he fell and hit his head on the turf.
And Bielsa choosing not to go into the tactics. He's just going to sit and have some time in his own head there. And one of the most fascinating men in football.
Do you have a strong opinion either way on the hydration breaks just being a consistent thing and using that as a tactical opportunity?
I think I need to see
Clearly
it implemented.
not from his standpoint.
I think I need to see it implemented this summer
Yeah.
and see how that truly plays out. We've become more used to it.
But to your point, it's like the 5 substitutions thing.
Yeah.
There's no way that genie's just going to be stuffed back in the ball.
And I think my argument for it would just be, look, the amount of games and high intensity and how much the game has gotten faster and stronger, that maybe it proves as an opportunity for some of these guys just to take a minute or two to regenerate, get some fluids on board, and then keep that speed and the quality of the game high.
To that, and that's exactly the thing. If what it means is players are able to play at full intensity and play to their best with a little bit of a breather, that's good for all of us.
Yeah.
Even if it feels very different from how the game was originally designed and how it's been played for most of the last 150 years. Madueke back out there behind the play after being looked at. And statistically dominant. England 70% of the ball, 5 shots to 1, 5 corners to none. Does that surprise you that it's so one way? I mean, again, this is not even whether it's an England B or not. It's a bunch of guys who've never played together for England.
Yes, but you look at the quality that is on the field still for England. I think it's about what expected, just because also we've seen such an inconsistent Uruguay, and they're tinkering a couple of different positions. They've gone back to their experienced 39-year-old goalkeeper. They've got Aguirre starting up front. They've rotated a little bit in the midfield. So you're seeing some of that disjointedness, not to mention the fact of the ways in which they're perhaps changing their style within their game model.
As Canobio won the ball back to Arrascaeta, returns from Valverde. Uruguay went out in the group stage of the last World Cup. Madueke still has an issue. He's not even playing right now, and he was signaling something to the bench. It's a good tackle on the outside by Livramento off of Maxi Araujo. And they're going to hold the throw here, and Madueke's gone back down, and it's 2 things. As you said, any injury, any knock with an eye towards the World Cup, but certainly right now, for any player, for the sake of their club manager watching right now, they take a knock, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's no good time for it, but it feels much worse now.
Mention his club teammate, and Eze had to pull out right before, after being initially named on the list. He pulls out of the camp. Madueke now pulling out of the camp. A little shake of the head. You hope, again, in all of these situations that it's nothing serious. But yeah, it presents another opportunity, and come on down, Jared Bowen.
He was one of the last roster cuts from the last World Cup. Only played in the group stage at the Euros. And he will scramble on the field quickly. Became West Ham's record holder for combined goals and assists in Premier League history, the 6 seasons he's had. Now what can he do? Just rushed off the bench in a matter of moments. 8 minutes plus what should be a fair bit of stoppage time now with the 2 injuries.
And I think all of that has really interrupted the flow and the feel and the intensity of the game in what is still a tune-up game and a window, the last window before the roster will be named. So I hope that we get some of that intensity back a little bit in the second half. You get just some consistency, some relationships within the game and touches on the ball that just results in a more fluid end-to-end type of game.
Jimenez doing enough there. Solanke was battling with him. It's an evergreen conversation for England. Who's going to be Harry Kane's backup? We know it's going to be someone named Dominic. Might be Solanke. Might be Calvert-Lewin. We'll find out how much time each is given in this match with the expectation that Kane comes back into play against Japan on Tuesday. It was too far for Aguirre to chase down. Spence trying to get under control. That was well read by Varela. Arrascaeta, who won every South American Player of the Year award possible last year, and then he overhits the
commentator's
pass.
jinx there as he hits that one. That's kind of
Why
been
do you
the story
put that
of the
on
game,
me?
though.
He's the one that overhit
That's
the
fair.
pass.
Yeah,
He can't hear
that's
me.
been the way this game has gone. Uruguay have had a couple of moments, maybe half chances to pick up the ball and go and provide some quality, but the lack of quality.
It's held in there quickly. It's going to fall now for Canobio. Going to overlap around the outside. Valverde had it blocked. That's a man you would want to see in that position if you're Uruguay. Just too many red shirts between he and goal. Chases down Marcus Rashford, who skips past him. Still Marcus Rashford. Can he get round the corner? Gets across away. It's all the way through. What a run that was, though.
Oh, my gosh.
Livramento holds it in. Foden spins it around. Fans want him to shoot. He'll cycle back for Henderson instead. That was Real Madrid v Barcelona for 60 yards up the wing there.
You know, that was
flight.
And that was Marcus Rashford of 5 years ago. That was just an excellent run, the confidence. It was also Valverde who had taken the shot, who was the man that was tracking him down, one of the best athletes in the game, Federico Valverde. And then Rashford went past, how many? 5 defenders before eventually getting a beautiful cross in the box.
5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in the half. Maguire will carry forward, looking for something and anything, forced to cycle it around. An England team that's lost just twice in their last 16 games. Their last loss at Wembley was in the fall of 2024 against Greece. They lost a friendly to the African champion Senegal last June. They have been largely untouchable since the Euros as Ugarte commits that foul. And look back at Rashford's run.
Yeah, look at this, inside out, just cruising past Villa. Then here comes Valverde, see you later. Araujo, you're going to stop me 2v1. Nope, yeah, got a little on my back. It just such great close control, some great balance. The way he shifts the ball